out of the 2020 race heating up. Democratic presidential candidates out in force this weekend, targeting key primary states and taking aim at President Trump. ABC's White House correspondent Tara Palmieri is on the North Lawn with the story. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning, Eva. Here's the thing. The first Democratic debate is next month in June, and there are more candidates than there are spots. So while they may be aiming their fire at President Trump, the real competition is among themselves, and many of these candidates have been crisscrossing the country, just trying to gain the support to qualify for these debates.
I remember when people said that Barack Obama couldn't be elected.
As the Democratic field grows wider by the day, with more than 20 candidates, frontrunner Joe Biden in the battleground state of South Carolina this weekend, swinging hard at President Trump.
Above all else, we must defeat Donald Trump.
While President Trump claims this is his campaign message,
I'll be running on the economy.
in the past week, he retweeted more than 60 negative messages about Joe Biden. White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney telling Fox News that doesn't mean President Trump sees Biden as his top challenger.
I think he's just the latest flavor of the day, and I think, next week it'll be somebody else for the Democrats.
4 declared candidates descending on the battleground state of Texas this weekend. Mayor Pete Buttigieg's speech in Dallas, not without controversy. The openly gay candidate heckled by protesters.
I'm just thinking of that scripture that says, bless and do not curse.
Former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke defending his opponent in his home state.
The hatred directed towards Pete Buttigieg last night was not reflective or representative of my state.
And then later making a bold suggestion that President Trump must face consequences for the results of the Mueller report.
This is our country, and this is the one chance that we get to ensure that it remains a democracy and that no man, regardless of his position, is above the law.
Another top topic on the campaign trail was Attorney General William Barr's handling of the Mueller report. A lot of these candidates are calling on him to resign, like Senator Kamala Harris, Senator Cory Booker, and Mayor Julian Castro. But there was one leading candidate who didn't go that far, and that was Senator Bernie Sanders. Dan?
Tara, thank you very much. And speaking of Bernie Sanders, this morning, the senator from Vermont is reacting to the new candidacy, relatively new candidacy, of the apparent frontrunner Joe Biden. ABC's chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl hit the trail with Sanders. Take a listen.
I'm sure you saw Joe Biden say that he is the most progressive candidate in this race.
Well, look, Joe is a good friend of mine, and I'm not here to attack Joe. Joe voted for the war in Iraq. I led the effort against it. Joe voted for NAFTA and permanent normal trade relations, trade agreements with China. I led the effort against that. Joe voted for the deregulation of Wall Street. I voted against that. I think if you look at Joe's record and you look at my record, I don't think there's much question about who's more progressive.
And John is with us now from Washington. John, good morning. I love when people say, he's my friend and I'm not going to attack him, but then they go and attack him. And you're going to have much more on your interview with Bernie later this morning. I just wonder, though, do these comments that we just heard from the senator indicate that Joe Biden has a serious problem on his left flank here?
Well, Dan, what they indicate is that we are going to see in this primary a battle for the ideological soul of the Democratic Party. These are significant, real differences, and Bernie Sanders is not waiting to take aim at Joe Biden. And by the way, Elizabeth Warren is also showing that she's willing to take on Biden. This primary is going to be very interesting. And, usually you have a period where the candidates, wait before taking on one another, but that is not happening here. The battle is on.
Yeah, everybody has to make their mark in such a crowded field. Let me switch subjects now, politically speaking, and talk about international affairs, because we have a new video this morning of the leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, personally overseeing some missile launches this weekend. And I know you have the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, on the show this morning. What does this latest provocation from North Korea mean for President Trump, who really has staked his reputation, at least in part, on his peace negotiations with this unpredictable dictator?
Well, I think that you point to the key factor here, which is you see Kim Jong-un personally overseeing these military tests. Look, this was not a nuclear test. It was not an intercontinental ballistic missile test. Those are the two that North Korea has promised to not do while these negotiations go on. But this was clearly a provocation, and a provocation overseen by the man that President Trump calls his friend and says that he is confident he can work out a deal with. This comes as North Korea has also said that they are essentially putting a deadline. They want to see action. They want to see something from the United States before the end of the year. I think we are nearing a very critical inflection point with the North Korea talks, and it'd be very interesting to see how Mike Pompeo responds to all this. He has been much more, let's say, skeptical about North Korea's intentions than his boss, the president.
Yeah, looking forward to hearing that. John, thank you very much. Always great to talk to you on a Sunday morning. I want to remind everybody, John has a big show this morning. He'll have more from that exclusive interview on the campaign trail in Iowa with Senator Bernie Sanders. Plus, as discussed, he's going to go one-on-one with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo for the latest on the U.S. response both to North Korea and the ongoing crisis in Venezuela. It's all coming up on This Week later this morning right here on ABC.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.